Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Believe in FCS Football Podcast with your hosts, Sean Anderson and Joe DeLeone, formerly of the University of Rhode Island Football, and also
The Rhode Island Football.
Currently, that's Joe DeLeone, if you're listening in audio format. If you are a new listener, thank you for listening. I know it has to be taxing for all of our day one listeners to have to hear, reintroductions, but it is what it is. And also, just so everyone gets to learn a little bit about us, I had no idea who St. Peter's was 3 weeks ago, and neither did Joe. And I need to make that clear for everybody else in the listening audience. I'm not trying to start an argument. I'm not trying to start. This is not a hot take. This is none of this. Joseph, just hold your tongue for 1 second, please, and thank you.
I knew that you were.
Joe didn't have
I was
going to
save
about this tournament team.
That,
he had no idea, and I didn't know about them until they made the bracket, until they beat Kentucky. And say, "Oh, St. Peter's, cool. Wonder where they're from." I thought they were from Kentucky. I thought they were somewhere else. I had no clue, and I can openly admit that. Joe also had no idea, but he gallivanted all over Twitter at Joe DeLeone on Twitter. There you go, little plug. Keep you sedated for a second. Gallivanted on Twitter like he attended St. Peter's, which he didn't, and he never did, and he never said, "I live near St. Peter's University. They actually, I might go check out a St. Pete's game. I'll go do this over there at St. Pete." Never heard one lick of it. I've known him for coming up on 7 years now. I've known him for almost 6 or 7 years now.
7 years. You didn't know I was Irish until a week ago.
You never once said a lick about that university until everybody was talking about him, and Joe DeLeone had to make it all about himself.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay.
I just wanted to let people know who we are.
The state of New Jersey has a handful of Division I programs, like a tiny amount. It's not Virginia, where there's regionality to it. New Jersey's not a big state. There is Seton Hall. There is Rutgers.
Mm-hmm.
Princeton, you don't really count because it's an Ivy League. Nobody roots for Princeton because of the whole prestige factor.
We're still doing an FCS football show here.
Well, I mean, I think anyone from New Jersey, anyone from New Jersey would agree with
Jersey Joe. Okay,
but sorry. It is one of the literally. I just need only 3 notable Division I programs. I of course freaking knew that St. Peter's was a Division I program that was 20 minutes down the road. Most of the kids from my town.
Isn't it funny how everyone
most of the kids
says,
from my? I'm not done. I'm not done.
Minutes down the
I'm
road
not done.
me.
I'm not done. I'm not done.
Oh,
I'm not done.
Put that finger down.
I'm not
Get
done.
that finger down. Put it down.
I'll stick it somewhere if you don't.
Don't you start finger waving, because I'm going to start finger waving. Continue. I'm sorry I cut you off.
Most of the kids from my high school went to St. Peter's Prep, which was right next to the university. We also played St. Peter's Prep in lacrosse, in hockey, in multiple sports, which again, I had to travel to participate in those games, which was right next to St. Peter's University. Now, unlike the state of New Virginia, where there's like all these random nonsense schools, if one of them makes a run, you're not really going to be like if James Madison made a run, you're not going to go out of your way in the tournament. You wouldn't go out of your way to say, "Wow, JMU, go Virginia." It's not like a big regionality thing.
I could root for JMU last year during the softball tournament,
but it's not as big of a regionality thing as being from northern New Jersey. And one of the 3 northern New Jersey schools goes on a run and has multiple upsets and makes it to the Elite 8. That is
great story. It's a great
college
story.
But of course,
story.
I'm going.
It's not a great New Jersey story. You can't say it's a great New Jersey story.
It's one of the few state schools that people identify from the state with. Of course, they freaking knew who they were, and of course, I'm going to identify when they go on a run that it's a New Jersey thing. Because there's not a lot of things that you could pull from that are New Jersey things. We don't even really have the Jets and the Giants because they're claimed by New York despite the stadium.
You have the Turnpike.
You know the Turnpike.
You have a really bad Roy Rogers on the Turnpike.
I don't know why you're stopping at a Roy Rogers.
I always did, and I was always upset about it.
What is wrong with you that you're stopping at a Roy Rogers in New Jersey?
Hey, jackass, I had an 8-hour ride home.
There's so many good delis that you could have stopped in that I could have.
Yeah, because then I would have had to get off the turnpike and then drive 20 minutes to some crazy ass deli tucked away next to Joe DeLeone's house, which is coincidentally only 20 minutes away from my house. Same with St. Pete's, just in a different way. I'm Joe DeLeone. I live 20 minutes away from everything.
In Jersey City. I used to go to Jersey City all the time.
Jersey City.
You're a jackass.
Hey, you know what's cool about Virginia? There's no Virginia City.
Okay.
Jersey City.
There's very few states that do the name state.
I've never heard of Florida City. You ever heard of Arkansas City?
Don't you think that would be verbose and also obnoxious if every state had their name?
Why not? Jersey copied New York.
Yeah, because
Kansas
City
it's
right outside New York City. That's why
it's the stupidest nomenclature.
Jersey City is across the way from New York City. Of course, they freaking copied it. It's like the. It's like a. This is what you came at me with. Was that I wanted to save that for Dustin Helton's mailbag question because that pissed me off this weekend.
What did Dustin? Is that SFA Dustin Helton?
Yeah, that's SFA Dustin Helton.
We need some new interactions on Twitter because I'm just starting to just absolutely memorize everyone's handles on there.
Yeah, we do need. All right, so today's episode. After that, thank you for that, Sean. Today's episode, we're continuing on with the next team on our preview series, discussing outlook for 2022. It would have been James Madison per the top 25 final season rankings for Stats Perform, but James Madison is going to be a FBS program next year. So that means the next one up is South Dakota State, which you probably guessed from the title. So we're going to do that. We're going to go through all that. Sean, can you share with our listeners a word from our sponsor?
Well, I'm glad you used that one transition that you just used opposed to a college basketball transition into a college basketball betting read. But your instincts, I get it, are still being sharpened. I joke. I kid, Joe. I kid. I know we still have a lot of show to do.
I'm trying to curse less.
Beat you down. Yeah, I get
so I'm not going to curse at you. So go ahead.
We're finally here. The top teams in college basketball, not St. Pete's, obviously, have been determined, and the Final Four is set. You know, I don't like that you made me not like St. Pete's. I really don't like that you made me do that, but I'm glad they lost. Looking to wager on these games or national championship, head over to betonline.ag on your desktop or mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BLEAV, that's BLEAV, to get started. BetOnline remains your number one spot for all updated odds and info, along with player props and new contests throughout the year. It's the best source for all your sports wagering needs, including live betting and everyone's favorite Vegas casino and poker games. It's super easy to get started, so join today. Learn why everyone is saying BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on sports. BetOnline, where the game starts. Also, my heater ended, went 0-2 on Saturday. Didn't even bet on the other Elite Eight games. It stunk. I was on a crazy... My most consistent heater betting ever. I think I was like 7 for 8 on straight bets, not parlays. 7 for 8. Maybe I might have gotten up to 8 for 9, Joe. I was rolling. Elite Eight destroyed me. I said, okay, enough of this. Withdraw.
You cashed it on your $6.
You want to be a funny guy, don't you? You
didn't respond to my idea. I was admittedly drunk on Saturday, and I DM'd Sean.
Here.
I always love when I
was drunk on Saturday, so I might have just passed over it.
I know when you're drunk and then I send you something really like obnoxious that you're just like, I'm not responding to this because you know that I'm also probably in the same state as you.
Oh, is this Roger Fisher's tweet? Which you are.
No. It was on Instagram. You posted on your story like, the heater continues or something like that. Yeah. That was how I knew you were drunk. This is just a stupid tweet. Are you done with the read?
Yes, I'm done with the read.
Okay. All right.
Oh, rooting for UNC. That's who I'm. You made $6. Funny guy. I just saw that. Yeah, I'm pulling for UNC. I don't. Villanova's fine, but their post game for my other job is very hard to find. So I have a bias against them. Kansas, I have a bias against because they post their post game like 5 hours after their games are done. So I got no love lost for them. UNC through and through.
I got to warm up for my read here. Here we go.
Oh, here we go. Hold on. The main event, everybody.
No mess ups. The
main event. Oh, and also Duke. No Duke.
Okay.
All right. Actually, I think I have this read, so I'm going to try to go along with you and pick out where you're going to mess up.
Okay.
The word recovery. I think you mess up.
Okay. Can you let me go? Tons of people take multivitamins, but it's important to choose one that is top quality. With one delicious scoop of Athletic Greens, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens. That's a hard one.
That's a good one. You get that's points there, Joe. I'm reading
Start
along
your
with
day
you.
right. Their special blend of ingredients supports gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, energy, recovery, focus, and aging. It's also lifestyle friendly and fits a wide range of diets. There's also only 1 gram of sugar and no chemicals or anything artificial. Damn it. Something popped up on my phone. So
Here we go. There's only 1 gram of sugar and no chemicals or artificial anything.
I probably could have kept going and no one would have known that I didn't mess it up.
No, you're doing good. You're doing good.
Okay, reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/believe. That's BLEAV. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/believe. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Athletic Greens, take ownership of your health. It's probably the best read that I've done in months.
It's pretty good. The fast part was also very good. To be read quickly. That's asking a lot.
I know.
How do some of the other hosts handle that?
Tom Hannafin, who probably has the most beautiful voice on the network, he does it very well because he's got like a voiceover voice. He's the wrestling commentator that does the Penn State podcast.
Yep.
Ryan Rigoni, the Miami linebacker, you could probably guess how much he struggled with that read. I love Ryan. He doesn't listen to this podcast, but he had a tough time. It took him a couple tries.
Why am I getting a text message about Kill Bill? Oh, I had the double feature for the first time this past weekend.
Nice. Thanks for telling us. All right.
I enjoyed them both. I'm sorry. Sorry, Joe.
This isn't a movie podcast.
My bad. I'm trying to give the listeners something about my life because it's interesting. Opposed to your sad, lonely life.
We're 12 minutes in, okay? We're 12 minutes in. We haven't even mentioned South Dakota State. I'm sure the South Dakota State fans love us right now that we've just dragged them this far. So, Sean, notable losses. I have to say overall, just looking at who's coming back, who they're losing, this has to be one of the least concerning situations, I would say, so far.
Okay.
And I think it's also one of the most balanced. And you'll kind of see what I mean in a second when we go through this. So notable losses, first 2 big ones, Pierre Strong Jr., Chris Oladokun. Those are huge. Yeah. You're losing the best running back in college football at the FCS level last year. I thought that he was better than Quay Holmes. No knock on Quay Holmes, but Pierre Strong was fantastic his whole career. And we're seeing how much of a talented prospect he can possibly be so far throughout this process. So losing him, you're losing out on a lot of really good production. There's a reason why there's no reason to worry about that. We're going to get to that when we talk about the returnees, and you probably know who I'm going to reference. But Chris Oladokun, again, same situation here. We're about to talk about what quarterback might be coming back. But you're losing Oladokun, who is somebody who might be a late-round draft pick, or in the same vein, still a high priority free agent. Those are 2 key positions on offense that you're losing. Is there any concern knowing that you're getting Isaiah Davis back healthy and maybe getting back Mark Gronowski healthy?
Well, Isaiah Davis, when on the field, is as good as any running back in the FCS. And that's no knock to Pierre Strong or Quay Holmes or anybody else that's been, Julius Chestnut. Nobody is not. He is a dude that will tote the rock, and he is a guy that when they had the 2-headed monster, who was stopping them? Who was touching them? They were running at will. And granted, senior offensive line, good play calling, execution, you still have to have a guy in the backfield with a vision that can make one player miss. Isaiah Davis could do that as well as Pierre Strong Jr., and he runs as hard as Pierre Strong Jr. He fills every need met at running back. If I'm going in there next year, I'm saying, okay, I got a bell cow back, I got a back that can catch the ball, and I got a back that can break away. And I just lost a back that could do the same thing.
Yeah.
So how concerned am I?
Right.
Not as much as I should, as a lot of other programs are.
Yeah. That's the funky thing here is that if we just mention those 2 names that they're losing, like that's concern. There's legitimate concern having to replenish a starting quarterback who can make throws all over the field and is a great athlete, and then also losing a record-setting running back that was an All-American. But the fact that you're replenishing with 2 All-American quality talents, and there's a lot of people that are very high on Mark Gronowski as a guy who's coming back from injury. He's on the roster right now. I from what I recall, and off the top of my head, I might be slightly wrong on this, but I believe it was like a neck injury. It was something serious that they had to bring in Oladokun to lead this team last year. So for him to now get to come back after a year off, that is 2 very key spots to have replenishing players. That it's not like you're filling them with rotational guys that had a little bit of experience. These are guys when they were right, even a transfer. You're bringing in guys that at one point were key contributors, and because of injury, they weren't available last year.
It's very valuable to have those guys sitting there because they saw guys lead ahead of them. They saw talented guys take them to wins, take them to the playoffs, and now they're saying, okay, our turn. It's a lot of these conversations that we're going to have about these teams might sound a little similar just because that's the dynamic of college football. We saw how it went for our 4 years playing. But to know in the offseason, when you're in the weight room, you look over and say, that's our quarterback, that's our running back. They can bring in guys if they want to. Next year, week 1, barring injury, knock wood, those are the 2 guys. It instills a lot of confidence, especially in the team and the coaches, and then everyone can just kind of mesh because those are 2 very important positions that is nice to have solidified in the spring.
So the other guys notables that they're losing, Logan Backus, linebacker, who was all-conference, offensive lineman Wes Gennant, offensive lineman Aaron Johnson, who I believe trained at Test, which is a fantastic gym in New Jersey, and then defensive back Don Gardner. I got to shout out my guy Garrett Test. I will always shout them out. So Don Gardner, also they lost him. So I don't think
for you. What did they do for you?
I did my pro day prep there, and I also my guy Garrett. I trained with him since I was in a freshman in high school.
Oh, okay.
My snapping coach.
Oh,
he's also trained guys for their pro days like Darnell Savage, Patrick Peterson, Mark Sanchez, a lot of Flacco, FCS guy. Kyle Murphy, Brandon Giannetti.
Oh, I like those guys.
Yeah, shut up. I don't think any of those guys that I mentioned that they're losing are debilitating losses. 2 offensive linemen is big, but here's the one main loss that I'm circling with a red pen that it needs to be answered if they will be fine moving forward next year. And I'm specifically referring to the loss of offensive coordinator Jason Eck, who is taking over as the head coach of Idaho. That is a home run hire by Idaho to go get Jason Eck because of how freaking good that they've been recently offensively in the 3 years that he was their offensive coordinator. But that means
name.
Yeah, it is a little unfortunate. He did like one of my tweets, which made me really happy.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I tweeted up Pierre strong when he had that really long run in the East-West Shrine game. So he liked it. So it made me happy. But they're losing him. They're replacing him with Zach Lewan, who it does not look like has a ton of experience as a coach. He looks pretty young. If you want to, or I'll send you the link here, Sean. But to lose an offensive coordinator is a pretty big deal.
Yeah. I don't know. That is a young dude.
He looks like he's like 27. He was a quarterback's coach since 2019. So that's always
bad.
The
QB coach.
Yeah, that's the plug-in where you just move the QB coach up. That's usually what happens. But man, this dude, he looks freaking young.
His picture could be. I got faith. It's a good culture there. I don't think.
He's from Alaska, and he was a quarterback for South Dakota State from 2014 to 2016. Sorry, continue.
We'll see how he does. If he were to just copy and paste what Eck did, I think that's really all you need to do. Maybe make some tweaks. Maybe make some tweaks on personnel. That's fine. You might not have a quarterback that can flick it like Oladokun. All right, fine. We'll change that up a little bit. But whatever, balance that they have been able to strike, keep that up. You got a really good offense with players that play very hard for you on that side of the ball. Try to keep that up. And that's hard to do, especially for a young guy that's now the offensive coordinator. But also, I'm not too worried about it because we've seen a lot of coaches and a lot of, it's not even front office, athletic departments, and then I guess front offices in the next level opt to go younger. So that's kind of the new trend. You're looking at a lot of young coaches in the NFL. Young coaches are kind of in because they can get creative and they're kind of flashy. So it's fine. It's not a huge thing for us, I don't think, or for South Dakota State. I'm trying to think if we had any offensive coordinator turnover when we were there.
At Rhode Island? Well, Will Fleming, and then oh no, we always had the same.
Yeah,
Will Fleming was always our offensive coordinator, but it's kind of a mixed bag going the route that they're going, and I point to I think an exact example. I think this is actually a very direct example. Tommy Rees was the starting quarterback at Notre Dame, graduates, becomes a graduate assistant, quarterback coach, offensive coordinator. And the results from the offense were kind of hit or miss. They were a little hamstrung by Ian Book and Jack Cohn because they weren't that great. Did a little bit better when Tyler Buckner stepped in. But it's kind of like I can't really say that route is a home run. Like it's encouraging to have somebody who's familiar with the area and is a part of the program for this long and is bought in, and he's probably going to not leave as quickly because he's young. No one's going to hire him away unless he puts up like 200 points a game. But I don't. I think there should be concern there. He needs to prove himself.
That's obviously what he's going to do. He's going to prove whether or not he can or can't do it. I'm sure the South Dakota State guys know him personally and go out to dinner with him because they're incredibly plugged in. So I guess we should plug all the South Dakota State content now because maybe they have some tighter insight. But from a broader point of view, given with who they're bringing back, given that they still have a pretty nasty offensive line and they got Isaiah Davis and Tucker Kraft is returning, they're still shaped up pretty good going into the spring. Who knows who they'll sign in the summer? Who knows who else is going to go into the portal and who they can bring over? So they're looking pretty good as of right now.
So hitting on some returnees of note, some of the the mid-tier guys that I think are really quality players. You get back Adam Bach, you get back Jackson Janke, who's a fantastic receiver, Caleb Sanders, defensive lineman, Reese Winkleman, defensive lineman. Those are all fantastic returnees. But I think that separate from us talking about Gronowski and Isaiah Davis, still a bit of a question mark on Gronowski. We don't know for sure what the deal is with that.
Naturally.
You would assume that he's coming back, but his neck there might be more damage to his neck than we all really have information available to the public. But I think the two returnees that get me the most excited are Mason McCormick, who you're a big fan of, and then Tucker Kraft.
How could you not be?
Tucker Kraft, man, is a dude. He was a sophomore last year, I believe, and he gives me, not in terms of like a direct comparison, but I think of in terms of impact, like those Dallas Goddard vibes, like what he was able to do at South Dakota State when he was there. So, I'm excited about both these players, and offensively to return both of them is really big for them.
Well, McCormick's really important because he was a tone setter last year on the offensive line, and they had a great nickname for their offensive line. I'm trying.
You think you would remember that?
Yeah, I would. I know that that all the fans love Big 60 because he is mean and he is very, very physical, and then he's also technically skilled and he's proficient there on the offensive line. He always does his job. When we were watching it, I kept my eyes on him and said, okay, that didn't look like a missed assignment. Didn't look like there was any missed assignments. He just that was for the North Dakota State game. And then you were also filling me in on Kraft when we were there, saying that one of your sources was very high up on him.
Ryan Roberts loves him. Ryan Roberts. I always love getting texts from Ryan, and I think he's one of the guys that if he had the opportunity, he would kiss him because he loves him that much.
Dude, I see. Do you see guys that you follow or that follow you just tweeting Ryan or replying to him like just a regular Joe?
Like Colin?
No. Like
you're talking about like
I'm on
higher-ish profile people that like will
not
comment
really
on Ryan.
But like I'm pretty involved is a strong word, but I've developed I've developed a pretty decent Twitter network of Falcons Twitter.
Yeah.
And I'll see some of the guys tweet Ryan. I'm like, you're replying like a hack to Ryan. Like they don't get Ryan. I'm like, God, stop replying like you have 3 followers. You got 2,500 followers. You're replying like you have 5.
It's the chain of progression. The mid-tier people that have people who respond.
I also realized the people that respond to Ryan, they like football way more than I think you and me like football. I didn't think it was possible, but there's guys on Twitter that tweet about it every hour.
Yeah, we don't need to go into the weeds, but I also think that those people are they kind of just it's kind of like shit posting. Like it's
almost like it, right?
I'd rather have like one intelligible tweet every 2 days than the 30 that are fired off from some of those accounts that don't really know what they're talking about.
And they oh God,
they're just saying things to say things, and it's just tweeting clips that they think is like, wow, look at this poll, like look at this drive block, and it's like, what? I'm gonna send you. This is a really like pedestrian block. I've sent you a couple. There's some people with like some decently reputable media outlets like Pro Football Network that I'll see tweet stuff. They're like, wow, this is really fantastic, and it's like, that's kind of expected. Like that's like normal shit. That's not stuff that we're like supposed to be freaking out over.
Here's a guy. Don't blow him up because he's very nice. He is the most eager. He's the most eager guy on Twitter, and he responds and he loves every prospect. How did I know this
was? Because I had a feeling this is who you were referring to.
He loves every prospect. Like you can't love every prospect. You can't want every prospect to come to the Falcons, dude. You can't want everyone.
Yeah, that's one of the things that Ryan hates is that.
Have you seen him on there a little bit?
Yeah, he doesn't follow me, but I know exactly what you're
dude. I'm sorry. We are very eager about South Dakota State this next year.
Very eager about South Dakota State.
All the FCS football teams.
So,
but not that eager.
You're right. So we talked about those 2 key players, and the chunk of guys. The one key addition that they have a transfer from Nebraska, former 3-star recruit, quarterback Chase Mason. His Twitter bio is kind of hack. I just had it pulled up. Let me find it. So 3-star. He's from South Dakota, and he is was playing for Nebraska, and then he transferred. His bio is VHHS alumni, athlete, aka Spaceman, and then Barstool athlete. So that was the Spaceman part's kind of hack because like who named you? Who crowned you Spaceman?
I don't mind Spaceman actually.
Really?
High school alumni, I'm not huge on.
Yeah, I don't.
Let me click his Huddle here.
Wait, I don't mean to. I feel like we're going out of our way to bat.
Where am I going? I gotta log into Huddle. I haven't logged into Huddle in 3 years. Why can't I see it?
But besides the point,
why is Huddle gatekeep? Why can't I get into Huddle? It's supposed to be a resource for athletes.
Besides the point, you're adding a little competition. If Gronowski's not ready to go to the quarterback room, I think that's a nice add. The rest of their recruits were mostly unranked star guys, so that's the only real notable addition.
I just saw him dunk.
No, he dunked.
Bad. Yeah. For anyone wondering, this happened tonight.
What?
And dunked off at 2 feet. God, white guys always dunk off at 2 feet.
Like Will Daniels.
Stinks.
All right, Sean.
Can we get a poster off of 1 foot, please?
So, Sean, we got some. I pulled for mailbags. I was hoping for.
Back if he did. I'm not trying to steal that. If someone else has said that before,
I'm sure they have. We've got 2 mailbag questions. I was hoping for some more. I would like to, if we can get like 5 mailbag questions, I would like to do a separate mailbag episode just so we could do some extra content and then just kind of. I think everyone likes when we do mailbags and we got a lot of questions. So
yeah,
Please, I'm gonna start polling for them. If I forget, feel free to harass me. Like literally, hey, say like, hey Bozo, tag me, like where the F is the mailbag tweet, or DM me and call me stupid. So I don't forget. But so we got one from Nick Massaroni, as you could probably expect.
I have a question just for mailbag formatting.
Yeah.
Are we also accepting hack of the weeks in the mailbag?
Nominations? Should we start doing that again?
I feel like we can mix them up. Why not?
Okay. Yeah, let's start. We'll start polling for both of them. We'll start polling for.
Maybe a lot of our listeners don't. They want to hear us just yell about hacks and not.
Yeah.
Our C+ analysis of a team, or at least mine. I won't sell Joe short.
Right. Yeah, I know more than you. Dustin Helton did kind of spur the bringing back the hack conversation. Nick Massaroni, though, first question, as you can probably imagine, he always asks us questions. Longtime listener. Which new look conference has the most upside this year?
Hold on, Joe. You read that wrong.
Is there supposed to be a trumpet noise in there?
No. There's a couple words in all caps. I'd like you to read it in the tone that Nick has obviously put it in.
Which new look conference has the most upside this year? WAC, Big South, CAA, ASUN. Do you also think that conference has the most upside? God, Nick, what is this wording? In the long term, out of the new look conference.
He tweeted it while he was trying to play us a song. He was going one hand and one on the trumpet. Can't type very well like that.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of how the CAA realigned, because they added. Or I just want to pull up.
All right, Blues Traveler from the top. All right.
I'm a fan of the addition, bringing in Monmouth for what they did. I think that them adding Monmouth was really big, losing James Madison, and that they regionally, I think that makes a lot of sense for them to go and get them. I'm just trying to frickin' pull up the updated list of conferences.
Seeing here, Big South OVC announced Football Association, so they're going to be all together because both conferences lost teams. They're going to feature 9 teams that remain in these 2 conferences: Big South, Robert Morris, Charleston Southern, Campbell, Gardner-Webb, and the OVC, UT Martin, SEMO, Tennessee State, Tennessee Tech.
Yeah, the ASUNs, Austin, looks like it's Austin P, Central Arkansas, Eastern Kentucky, Jacksonville State, Kennesaw State, Northern Alabama. Man, that's
ASUN's pretty stacked.
It's stacked, but it's like they got 6 teams. I don't know. I gotta.
It'll be electric.
If we're talking about, I think who made the most positive changes, I think I have to go with the CAA in what they did, the Monmouth edition, and then there were the rumblings.
They just added 6. They still have 12, I think. Oh wait, no, this is an enrollment comparison, I believe.
We are really prepared.
Bellarmine, Central Arkansas, Eastern Kentucky, Florida Gulf Coast U, Kennesaw, Jacksonville State, Liberty, Lipscomb, North Alabama, North Florida, Stetson.
That's not just.
Is that just enrollment comparison?
That's not football though. Wow,
those are teams.
Be really blue answering this question. No, but so I believe also Hampton is joining the CAA too. So I still think that I'm always going to pick the CAA in these types of questions.
I'll go with ASUN. I think that you add Central Arkansas and Jacksonville State, and you get all those teams that are mixing it up there. It's exciting. It's something I will tune into and definitely watch. And because every week we do our conferences, we do our wins and FC estimates, there's going to be marquee matchups in the ASUN every week, which I will always be in favor of. I'm always in favor of the CAA matchups because marquee matchup, Big Sky, marquee matchup, all that stuff. I'm for good teams playing good teams. I'm for bad teams playing bad teams, or good, not really good teams playing bad teams. it's fine. That won't make that. I probably won't watch those, but the ASUN looks like it's going to have a lot of potential for me to tune into some good FCS football this upcoming season.
All right. Well, Nick, thank you for that.
What are you doing?
I know you're gonna laugh at that.
I gotta take that. I gotta breathe here. I can't listen to you. I got.
That might have been one of the worst bits I've done.
I can't hear you. Hold on. I gotta get you. I can't even. He's too nice. He's too nice, and I cannot believe you did that to him. You have reduced him to one facet of his personality.
He plays the trumpet, doesn't he?
He is. Nick Massaroni has offered nothing but friendship to you and me.
He also played the trumpet. He's also played the trumpet for us, and it made me really happy.
God, I missed.
Okay,
that.
So Dustin Helton asked. He's the second
holy
question
hell,
here.
was that funny, Joe?
Who is the biggest hack of the offseason?
Joe.
For that,
it's mean.
Off the top of my head, so far I think we need to do a little more research on some maybe some I don't think we've gotten any hack FCS takes off the top of my head, but
God, Joe was doing an awful space the other night. He was just back.
So that was what I was going to bring up. Is was doing a Twitter space with Ryan, and
were you really?
We were doing a Twitter space, and we did it for 2 hours. And so
I know you did. You guys were on there forever.
At the beginning, we were talking about Ika Makwanu and if he makes sense as a guard or a tackle. So Sean requests the mic, and the way, if anyone hasn't done a Twitter space before, the way that we do it is we try to let people come in and ask questions or chime in on stuff.
You do a good job at that.
So the former offensive lineman, the former offensive lineman requests the mic, and I say, I think Sean's going to chime in on what he thinks about guards playing tackle and tackles playing guards and the differences of it.
Guards can't play tackle in the NFL.
Sean
that's what it is.
Might be an expert at this. You think so?
Tackles can play guards. Guards can't play tackle. Move your tackles to guard.
And instead of impressing a crowd of what was, I think, 40 people at the time.
Yeah, it was a good group in there.
Probably could have gotten some followers. Probably could have stuck around for a little bit to talk offensive linemen.
You booted me out.
But Sean opens with, Joe said back when Deshaun Kaiser and Deshaun Watson were coming out that Deshaun Kaiser was going to have a better career than Deshaun Watson, which was obviously a horrible take on my part when I was a sophomore in college.
I'll never forget it.
But you completely just derailed. That was more obnoxious than the kid who came in an hour after you and asked what we thought about the Fortnite Battle Pass. Yours was more obnoxious.
How was that more obnoxious? Look, you guys,
because
there's no brevity.
You.
There's no brevity between you two. I got to provide some brevity to a Twitter space. If it's just, all right, here's another player, and then here's this and that. I'm trying to, and maybe it's micromanagement, but I'm trying to make some good radio. That's what I'm trying to do.
Do it after you provide an offensive line take, and it's more hack than the fucking kid doing it. Damn it, I cursed.
First one, nice.
I said shit earlier. Than the kid doing it, because the kid who requested had a Club Penguin icon, and I didn't know who he was. You, on the other hand, are a grown adult. You're 24 years old now.
Thank you.
I would have thought that as a professional, you would have chimed in.
But I don't see many professionals partaking in Twitter spaces. Actually, that's not true. I think Joy Taylor does them.
No, a lot of people are getting big into doing that now.
God, I'm out on that.
I'm out on you. Sean, you got anything for us? I'm going to close this out.
God, what are we, 40 minutes in of this babble?
It's a good show. I think it was a good show.
You think so?
I would say so. It's going to be rebranded. It's going to be rebranded, but the channel is now going to be called Hack City. We're going to upload the new picture.
Is that the big announcement?
It's not much of an announcement.
I guess we should at least announce it in case it comes on your podcast feeds and you're like, I never subscribed to Hack City.
Well, we're not changing the podcast feed. It's just the YouTube channel.
Oh, okay, cool.
So if you're wondering why the hell the YouTube channel looks different, this is why.
Don't unsubscribe when you see Hack City. Tell more people about it.
Yeah.
I had something. Forgot it. Awesome. Way to close out strong, Sean. Normally Joe's the one that guesses, and I guess I'm the one today. This stinks. Hold on. I got to think of something to say to you. Oh, go follow It's Thumper. He'll have some better analysis on South Dakota State.
Or Brendan.
Or Brendan.
Oh, no, wait. Brendan is It's Thumper. Wait. Chad.
There we go.
Wait, what's Chad's handle? What's Chad's handle?
Big points for Sean there.
Wait. What's Chad? Chad's is at Slow Show. SLOSHO. You did completely botch their podcast name. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Hit subscribe. Drive safe, everybody.
That's the B Team Podcast.